Hi guys, this is Chet here from Avion Technology here in the Chicagoland area. We are a website design development agency. Today we deal with a lot of small businesses and uh, have the opportunity to talk to a lot of small business owners. Today I'm going to talk about how uh, products business or services business could find a foothold. So one of the problems that a lot of services businesses have, or a lot of products businesses have, is that what do you sell, right? So there's what we call red ocean markets and blue ocean markets, right? Red ocean markets tend to be extremely commoditized, extremely price sensitive, and there's a lot of sharks, right? So everyone's competing. There's a lot of blood in the water. Normally not. It's extremely price sensitive, and there's a lot of price wars, right? Blue ocean is where there's very few competitors, so you can charge really high, and essentially there's less competition, right? So first ask yourself, do you want to be here or here, right? 99% of the time someone will say that I want to be here, correct? Good. So once you know where you want to be, so if you want to be in cybersecurity, for example, cybersecurity, MSPs, IT companies, extremely competitive, right? But if you look at cybersecurity and then you say that I want to do cybersecurity in healthcare for oncologists, now suddenly what you've done is you're talking to the long tail, right? Because every specialty, right, has a few nuances, has a few intricacies that no generalist can cater to. So within oncology, for example, I'm not an expert in any of this. Please do not take any of this as financial or legal advice. This is just a conversation. But there's HIPAA within healthcare. But I'm sure if you talk to oncologists, there's a few other things that they need from a cybersecurity perspective. So if you're an IT security guy, cybersecurity guy, you can make a career in cybersecurity, yes, but then you can specialize in healthcare, yes, and then you can specialize in oncology, yes. And certainly what will happen is that the number of targets you have, the number of potential clients that you have, A, you can filter it down, but B, more importantly, you will have a story to sell. You will have a narrative to sell, right? I've always believed that customers buy from you because of your narrative. Customers buy from you because of your story. They want to relate with you. So when you're targeting the long tail and you have a portfolio that is catered to that long tail, it will give your client a very, very specific kind of it'll give your client that warm fuzzy feeling, right? It'll give your client confidence that this is the person who can solve my problem, because at the end of the day you're solving a very niche problem. I remember my father, he was a CPA, but he was an expert in aviation accounting, and within aviation accounting he was an expert in interline accounting, which is like a subset within aviation. So that was like a super specialty, right? And I think he ended his tenure as a CFO of a company. So again, like I said, if you want to be upwardly mobile, right, then you gotta have skill sets which are not easily fungible, right? You gotta have skill sets that cannot be easily duplicated by someone else. If you are someone, if you're a generalist in any profession, right, you can be easily replaced with someone else. But if you're a specialist, you can be replaced with someone else. So the more irreplaceable, the more non-fungible your skill sets are, the more easier it is for you to find a blue ocean market. Now the question is, how do you create that irreplaceability of skill sets, right? And for that, I usually recommend that between your years of 25 and 35, right, and even thereafter, but mostly between the years of 25 and 35, you should spend in continuous learning, right? That's how you increase your skill sets. But the only thing you want to make sure is that you do not over specialize, because what can happen is that if you over specialize and then that sector gets wiped out, then you essentially do not have a job, right? So make sure you target something which is specialized but not over specialized, and usually that'll kind of over for a very successful business or a very successful career. In my lifetime, I've met a lot of specialists. I was recently at a conference, and I met a person who he was a doctor, and he was a cardiologist, and his specialty was in dealing with South Asian men, right? Because they have a really high incidence of heart disease, and so he'd written a lot of papers, and I was surprised that I was not surprised, but the doctor earns like a 7-figure annual income, right? That's because he's created a unique skill set, right? And he spent years working on that skill set. So this is advice that I wish someone would have given me in my own 20s, that I spend at least an hour or two every day in learning something, because essentially what you're doing is every day that you learn, you create a small delta, you create a small difference between the person that you were yesterday and the person you are today. If you look at it from a very short-term perspective, like 6 months or even a few weeks, that's not much. But if you spread that out over years and decades, that daily continuous learning ends up becoming a massive differential. So yeah, that would be my advice. If you're someone in his 20s who's starting out with a business, please make sure that you spend a couple of hours every day learning, and please make sure that you specialize in something, and that will make sure that you're essentially in a blue ocean market. So yep, this is Chet here from Avion Technology in the Chicagoland area. If you have any questions, comments, this is my email, this is my phone number. Give us a shout. More than happy to discuss. Thanks again.